The mass shooting at a Sweet 16 birthday party in Dadeville has shaken the community and the state. And a tragedy like this can bring up a lot of emotions, especially in a tight-knit community like Dadeville.
Joining us live now over Zoom is Christy Holding and Sarah McCrory from the Samaritan Counseling Center. Christy, Sarah, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Christy, we'll start with you. What is the best thing to do after a tragedy like this? There are so many emotions.
Yeah, I think I just want to show by example today. I called Sarah and asked her if she would do this interview with me simply because I did not want to do this alone. And I think I didn't mean for it to be representative of the tragedy, but I think that is what we have to do. This is too big for any of us to do alone. And so I think right now, the thing that the community's doing, the thing that Dadeville's done so well, and the thing that Pike Road has done is held some vigils, get people together, let people talk about their feelings. And sometimes people may not be ready to talk. They just may need us to sit in silence with them.
Sarah, having a partner like you is so important, but our kids and us as adults, we're exposed to so many stories of death and destruction on social media, even right here with what we do on the news, and it just takes a toll on you mentally. How can you work through that, especially during a tragedy like this that happens so close to home?
Yeah, I think one of the things that we have to recognize is how little of this is really in our control. So we can, when we see that, we can then focus on the things that are in our control. And one of those things is turning off the news. And we know it happened, and we can now turn it off and kind of go to the outside, literally walk outside, but also care for yourself, eating right, trying to sleep well, and just getting outside and enjoying nature, because horrible things are happening all around us, but there are also good things. And so kind of helping our kids and ourselves balance that out and go to that place of, yes, horrible things are happening, but I can walk outside and I can see the blue sky and listen to the birds sing and things that seem really simple, but I think we take for granted. And if we're stuck just watching the news all the time, I think we can really get overwhelmed by this. Our bodies were not meant to be living with a 24-hour news cycle.
Yeah, there are so many big emotions. There's also fear for your own children. You worry about their safety. And then there's that guilt that, why am I so sad? But my children are still so healthy. Why am I feeling like this? There are so many emotions to work through, Christy.
There's so many. And that being in the news and doing what we do, there is a lot of vicarious trauma. And if I'm honest, sometimes I hear these things and I don't even feel because we hear it so much. And like Sarah said, we weren't designed to know what happens all over the world. We were designed to live in, smaller communities and maybe know what's happening with, 300, 1,000 people, but not to know what's going on all over the world. So we're experiencing a lot of things that our bodies really weren't created for. And so I think being able to step back from that and also I think this is where people of faith can really, really lean into their faith, because we are helpless in some of these situations.
Sarah, where can we go for more information? Where can people go if they are really struggling?
I think, reach out to the counseling center. That the number is on the screen. And just the other thing I think is reach out to people that are your safe people, your friends, your family, people that love you, and just talk about these things. And if you can't, write things down. I think we really underestimate the power of putting something onto paper. That it does something scientifically. It moves it from your emotional brain to your thinking brain so that you can process it better. So if this is something that's really gotten you, start journaling about why you're feeling this way, what it is that you're feeling, and just kind of get the bad out.
Just work those emotions
out.
out.
Piggyback on that, I think it is so important that whatever it is we're feeling, whatever people are feeling, they don't need to be ashamed of it, whether it's numbness, whether it's rage, whether it's sadness, whether it's guilt, all those feelings, we're all going to have a different emotion to these experiences that happen. And so, like Sarah said, go into your safe people and somebody that can just hold space for you while you talk and feel whatever it is that you need to feel, because we want to get these feelings up and out so that we don't act on them out of, out of rage or things like that. So we want to make sure that we're talking to people about some of these overwhelming feelings.
Yeah, sometimes talking makes all the difference. As you said, it helps get all of that out. Christy, Sarah, thank you so much for joining us here on Alabama Live.
Thanks for having us.
Thank y'all.